So good morning, fam. It is February 26th. It's a Monday. It's 8:45 in the morning. Technically, I should be at work. I decided today I would be taking the day off because I need a mental break. I need to kind of like regroup and rethink about not necessarily rebranding, but just getting my brand started in general. Today I will be looking at art walk options. They're not really like art walky, but like craft fairs and things like that that are not only around New York City, but also around in the Hoboken area, and then also planning out my booth and things like that. Financially planning if I can do it, because I am freelancing for my full-time job for fashion, and eventually I would like to quit that completely. So in the meantime, I'm trying to get the side gig going. So that's another reason I took today off, is because I kind of really want to replan and regroup and rethink everything. I'm also currently actively looking for new positions in fashion. However, I'm looking more so for freelance designs. The reason I'm staying as freelance and doing contract jobs is because for me, it makes it a little bit more flexible. If I want a day off, I can just take the day off. For me, it makes more sense because if there's a day, like for instance, like today, I need today off to regroup for my other business. I can't do that if I'm working as an employee of a company versus freelancing as a independent contractor, which is what I'm doing. So it gets a little dicey there and confusing. But anyway, let's move you guys around because I want to kind of show you like what I'm up to. Just sorry if the camera's weird. I can't really see what I'm doing. Uno momento, por favor. All right, so the first thing I always do in the beginning of the month, technically I should have did this on Sunday, but again, I'm off today, so I'm taking this day off. So I will notate that I took this day off and what we're planning and things like that. And then the whole rest of the month is open to go ahead and put things on. So obviously I have like major events listed or what's happening in the city to be aware of. So this weekend we actually have a lot of bar crawls happening in our town. So I'd made a note of it so that way we know to avoid certain parts of our town because it gets a little crazy. And then I have stuff like a friend's birthday, my brother's birthday, etc. I'm not done filling everything in, but I will finish filling that in hopefully soon. Soon as in the next, I can't even see the clock. Oh, soon as in the next like hour or so. Made my Nespresso, which is delicious. I've been using bulletproof brain octane in it. It's amazing. I'll show you guys. I actually have my planner set for March, so this is this week. I need to file. I haven't done this yet. I gotta file still. And it just, you know, gives me some ideas of what I want done. This was last week. Last week, I kind of just took a break from everything in general. So I did certain things. Wash my hair is on here, so funny. And I just kind of plan, and then I'll look back and like I see questions that I'll ask myself in the future. Did I do it, etc., etc. And I try to put in, oh, I got a doctor's appointment. I try to match this up with my board, and then the board that matches this will also match another planner over here. Hey, say hi. Hi. He's like being grumpy. So those two planners will actually match up with this planner. Now this is my passion journal, which it's really helpful. This is how much I've used since I purchased it. I've had it for a little over a year. I don't really use it as often as I should, mainly because it's set up kind of weird for me. I don't like how the months are in the beginning of the book. I don't like that it's not set up as a calendar year. I do like that you can kind of play around with it. So if I want to, like last week I didn't fill anything out because I didn't really need it because again I was taking a break. But this week I'm starting up again. I don't have to worry about wasting paper. I can just fill in my dates, because if you see here, you can fill in the day of whatever and then the week of whatever month it is, I had even more stuff filled in. So that's how I like it in that sense. And then I can put down like my campaigns and things I want to do down here. Any additional notes, as you saw, I can put here, or ideas and doodles, etc., etc. And then right now I'm actually blocking out things that I'm going to do for my education for Young Living. And I also wanted to talk a little bit more about that as well, because I feel like I'm not really explaining the whole 100% on Facebook and Instagram. And the reason for that is because those are campaigns and those are different than what I'm actually doing. So I'm going to try and do more YouTube channel involvement as well, because I feel like not only will you pay attention to that better, but a lot of people like to see visual things, you know, especially nowadays in our day and age, and us creative people force everyone to kind of like be forced to look at beautiful pictures. So I gotta reinforce that and start making more videos for you guys. So that's kind of my day today and what I have going on. So yes, I'm taking a day off of my actual pay job and planting some seeds into my side business today. And that'll be really fun to do and a good experience. So I am actually going to work on filling out the rest of my calendar, and then after I can show you guys my beauty makeup routine that's actually really new, and I'm really excited about it because it falls within our Young Living foundations of it. I'll have to show you. It's pretty cool. So 2 seconds. BRB. Not a whole lot on here. So I just finished the board, and I kind of wanted to show you guys where I have it set up. And I actually have it in our walkway, and these little grip things, what is it called? Lock tape, I forgot the name of it, but it comes in great. I actually use it. Somebody fucked that up before we moved in. But this is where I hang my board. It's right in front of the living room. I mean, entryway. So you see it upon entering, which is pretty good because I need to see it all the time. I'm actually gonna put you guys back on the tripod 1 second. So as I was saying before, I went ahead and did my calendar. So there's, like I said, not a whole lot going on in the month of March, which is good news, because not only is it a longer month for me, it gives me more time to kind of really focus on and zero in on what I'm trying to do, which is good and bad at the same time. What I mean is by it's good and bad is because not only is it a longer month, so we have more time to do more critical thinking and processing and things like that, but however, more time doesn't necessarily mean better products, because if you spend too long on something, you might eat up too much time, kind of deal. So for this month, today, I'm really gonna look through my goals again and really execute them. I think what's gonna be helpful for you guys is, because I'm so big on educating people, because I love learning myself, that I'm constantly wanting to share new information. And so part of that process is I'm gonna teach you guys what to and not to do in starting your own business, because I'm starting my own business and it's scary. I have no idea if I'm gonna get paid, but I'm hoping that I do. And it's a different, it's a really different experience than what I'm used to. Now, just to kind of give you a little background on myself, I went into fashion at a young age. I discovered sewing at 14 years old. When I got into high school, they actually offered a class called Sewing 101. And I remember wanting to take it because I've done literally every media of art except sewing. So I went into the class, and ever since I fell in love with sewing. And to this day, I still find sewing very therapeutic. I love beading. Embroidery, not so much, just because I'm not so good at like the stitch tensions and things like that, or the techniques. But otherwise, I mean, I love it. I love making patterns. I love sewing. I love creating in that whole aspect. However, I hate working for someone else and making. See, when I say this, I always feel like I shouldn't say it because it sounds so bad, but I hate helping other people's dreams happen that have already happened. You know, so it's kind of like, because I don't want you guys to think that I don't want to help your dreams. I want to help your dreams. I just don't want to for you to hire me, and then you're paying me to make it happen, versus let's work on this together and get you paid, and then once your ball gets rolling, I don't have to deal with you anymore, kind of thing. You know what you're doing. That's my goal. I want you to get to a point where you don't need me. And unfortunately, with fashion companies, they need a lot of people. So it wasn't until I was already out of college that I went through college with fashion design and everything, and absolutely hated it after I started working in fashion. I loved school. College was, for me at least, one of the best experiences of my entire life, and if I could do it again in a heartbeat, I totally would. And all of my friends would probably say the same thing, because, you know, that's the whole reason why we even got into fashion, was because school sounded so promising and it was so fun, and now real life is not like that, really. The expectations were different. So yeah, that's my background. And I had a very bad relationship, because I don't want to blame it completely all on fashion, but part of it is fashion, and part of it is also, I think, just growing up in Hollywood, LA area. We're very self-conscious people about what others think about us and how we look. We are some of the friendliest people you will meet. However, I started getting more and more into fitness, and fitness was my life. It consumed me for 6 years. During these 6 years, I've been doing mostly bodybuilding, because that's my favorite sport, was bodybuilding, and really like zeroing in those diets and things like that. And then it got to the point where I just got over the fad diets, that my body is literally broke. It got to the point where I just couldn't lose weight anymore, and here I am today. So that brings me to today with my holistic type of lifestyle, if you will. So I recently started up a Facebook group and Instagram called Waterfront Vitality, which is completely different from what I was doing prior to. I was doing very, very fitness inspired, very bodybuilding inspired. It's like, take this supplement every other post, and it got so salesy on my account that I literally was, one, not growing followers, and two, it was just the wrong audience in general. Because the thing that people often forget to do with not just marketing themselves, but also like when they get sponsorships and things like that, and I've heard a couple people on YouTube and things say this, and now I see what they mean after I've gone through it, is you really have to be 100% behind the product that you are marketing, selling, whatever. Because once that company absorbs you into it, you are now a representation of that company. So you need to make sure that that is a company that you like. It's a company that you're going to stand by for years to come. Even if they weren't to pay you, you would still use the product. Most importantly, the moral background of that company has to be good. It should be bettering your lifestyle in every way possible. It should be good for you to consume. It should not be questionable at all. Like, you know, you got to really break it down. You have the same values, which is very important. Which leads me back to my original 3 topics. You really have to make sure that the moral of this company is something that you would stand by always, as well as, again, you would use the products whether you're paying for them or not. What is that company representing ultimately? But that's my mission right now, is really to kind of preach to people that you can be healthy, you can do whatever exercise you want. You don't have to do bodybuilding all the time if you're currently doing that now and you don't know where else to go because you're used to a structure. You can change, you can break out of it. It's hard, and I'm still going through that. So yes, that's a little background on me, and kind of more so the route into how I got into holistics. And a lot of it was just me having a bad relationship with myself and my body and my diet overall, and realizing that, you know, bodybuilding for some people is great. Do I still love the sport? Yes, I think it's awesome. I think it's so cool that, you know, you can get that lean, and I think it's cool that you can get that big. I just feel that it's getting to the point where it's messing with me mentally, and I need to maximize my mental capacity to focus on other things that will bring me benefits down the line, because I want to sow plants now so I can reap it later, and that's ultimately what we are doing. So yes, on to the next.